He's awesome.
Pretty funny. We came here and Jacob was like, I'm so like scared to talk, and I was like taking notes like, wait, no you weren't. Like you weren't scared at all, dude. But I'm excited, guys. My name is Jeremy. I'm just pretty pumped on just this generation, this age group of people, because I remember being in high school. I remember just kind of just being excited, especially when I was a senior, like what's the next step? You know what I mean? And so basically you guys might be like, who is this guy? Why is he here speaking? I mean, every time I'm at church and they have a special guest, I want to know what they're here for. Basically, my story is just I grew up at the beach bodyboarding. That's all I wanted to do from the age of 15 onwards. And luckily at my age, I was just like, how the heck can I go travel the world and get paid to do this? Like the magazines, this would be unreal. And so I studied my craft, I got really good at my sport, and at the age of 18, I actually signed my first pro contract. And so from 18 to 24, I actually got to go travel to over 30 different countries, got to be on the USA Surf team. I got paid to go to the beach, be in magazines, and have a ton of fun. And I was like, this is literally the dream life. And I talk about that because my whole thing that I want to share with you guys is to prosper where you're planted. Doesn't matter what you're going to be in life, you have to prosper where you're planted because you'll be blessed from there. And when you actually have that mindset to actually want to be the best you, God's going to really bless that. If you want to be a good student, go all out for it and give God the glory. If you want to be an amazing businessman, making millions of dollars and tithing huge amounts to churches, go and do that, but give God the glory. And so the cool thing about our story is you got to hear from a guy who literally is an artist, a rapper. You got to hear from a high school, a junior high teacher, and just an athlete guy. And then you get to hear from somebody like me who's in action sports. But my whole thing is, you might be like, Jeremy, why are you wearing a collared shirt then if you got to do all that? Basically in 2011, I actually wanted to break my back. When you guys break your back in any sport, you're pretty much done, right? Right? Let me tell you guys a key word. It's called participation. When a speaker comes up here and you want to learn from it and you want to serve and learn more, the key thing is participation. What's the key word today, guys? Friends, that word right there is going to save you so much heartache in class too. I was a 4.0 student. When I was a freshman, I had a 1.9% GPA. I learned the key word is participation. So every single time my teacher said something, I was like, ooh, that was good. Yeah. You guys liked me. It was cool. I was like, oh, I heard you know this. And I would just ask questions. So the key thing is participation, guys. When somebody comes up here, you'll retain more information and you'll be pretty excited. So the whole thing about me breaking my back and doing all that, why I want to share that, is because some things in your guys' life are going to happen and you're not going to know what it's there for. You really won't. You might get in a car crash. You might not get into the college you want. You might lose that scholarship. You might have a breakup. You might get someone pregnant. Who knows, guys? You know, only God knows. But the thing is that what I understood is when that happened is I said, man, Lord, this is definitely for a reason. I don't know why. This was my dream life. I have to move back in with my parents. I was a college graduate with $50,000 of school loans. And I was like, all right, Lord, how are you going to use this for your glory? And it's pretty exciting to say, guys. I actually wound up partnering with a health science company, and what was exciting for that for me is that God used that to actually let me travel around the world again, speak in front of thousands of people, and kind of share my story that it's possible. What's possible? It's possible to go after your dreams. No matter what you want to do in life, as long as the mind can conceive and believe it, you could achieve it. Believe that, guys. That's a huge thing. I tell people all the time. 2 years ago, I was living on the couch with my parents. Now I have a place in Newport Beach on the beach. Pretty exciting. Traveling the world. And I get to just be a business developer for $1 billion company. And I'm a kid from Long Beach, California. You know what I mean? So take that to the bank. And so what I like to tell people is it's not me. It's not my glory. It's all because of God. Every single thing I do, guys, you have to give glory to God. And you're going to really get more blessed than you could ever imagine. It wasn't always like that, guys. I had a time in my life when I was 24, before I broke my back, where I literally was in a secular relationship, doing sexual things you shouldn't be doing. And literally, I remember God saying, you need to literally give your life to Christ because you're a hypocrite. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I'm telling people I'm a Christian. I'm not living that life. And trust me, in high school, you guys have more temptations than probably anybody I know. There's so many temptations with drugs, with parties, with being cool, with kind of being accepted. And I was there. We were all there. But the thing is, guys, you have to make a decision today. You have to make a decision for your life that it's going to be for Christ. Because when you do that, you're really going to understand that you're going to be blessed more than you could even imagine. And so my heart for you guys is learn from the people who already made those mistakes so you don't make those mistakes. You know, I'm not perfect. I messed up a ton. You know, specifically in the areas of lust and temptation and girls. But what I understood and what I found out is that when I give my life to Christ and actually live for Him, everything I do is going to be congruent. And everything that I touch is going to be blessed. People always ask me, hey, you were a broke bodybuilder kid with no business background, but now you have a global business in 5 different countries. How are you doing that? Because, man, I just read the Word every single day. I study it like a freaking magician. Like, I'm so into the Word, guys. And you have to get that, you know. I want to give 2 challenges. My first challenge for you guys is this 2015. I want to challenge you guys to get in the Word daily. Look, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So if you hang out with, you know, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm a health company. If you hang out with 5 fat people, you're going to be fat. You know what I mean? If you hang out with 5 people that are really good at sports, most likely you're going to be good at what? You hang out with a bunch of smart people at school, you're most likely going to be what?
Smart.
Same thing, guys. If you want to literally prosper where you're planet at whatever you do, you have to surround yourself and associate with people that are growing with the walk with Christ. And so my big thing is, you guys are here tonight, you should applaud yourself. Most people your age right now, they're watching TV. Most people your age right now are not doing what you're doing. So you're a part of the 1%ers. You're the people that are literally going to excel in life. When other people are just watching TV doing the same thing at their 10-year reunion, you guys are going to be successful. You guys are the ones going to be leading the way in the marketplace. You guys are the ones who are going to be phenomenal athletes, phenomenal businessmen, phenomenal people you want to do. Because remember, whatever the mind can conceive, it could achieve. And as long as your heart is for God, He wants to give you the desires of your heart. Look, friends, I never had anybody sow these kind of seeds into me. I'm doing my best to just sow what I've been learning. So, I mean, how old are you guys? Shout at your age real quick. 15 and a half. I'm telling you guys, at your age, I wasn't in church. I wasn't doing this fun stuff. I mean, we weren't living our life for Christ. And so for the fact of the matter is that you guys are already ahead of the curve. You guys already know more than we do. So the fact is, if you just keep that continuous mindset of wanting to learn, to keep wanting to get better, I live by the phrase, better your best. Every single day you want to get better, you're going to literally just be astounded at 1 year from now who you're going to be. You won't recognize that person you were when you started 2015. You're going to go into 2016 like, whoa, I don't even recognize that guy. So the other thing I want to challenge you in, so the first one is to read your word. You guys remember that, right? Yes. And you might be like, where do I start, dude? You guys have youth pastors here. Ask them, hey, what do you think? This is where I'm at in my life. What do you think I should do right now? I always tell people to start in the Proverbs. I say a Proverbs day keeps the devil away. Whatever you want to do, because that's the book of wisdom. You want this wisdom. You want the Bible in you. You want to be so good at it that it just speaks from you. People are like, there's something different about this guy. There's something different about this girl. It's because you guys have Jesus. And people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And I'm telling you right now, Jesus is the biggest thing that you can be a part of. It's not a company. It's not a sports team. It's not anything. It's living for the kingdom. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to look at Christ and say, man, what did I do? Well done, good and faithful servant is what you want to hear. And so I'm telling you guys, don't live for the world. Don't live for all these things that your friends are doing. Live for Christ, and you're going to be astounded at what this year has to do for you. My other thing I want to kind of talk about, friends, is this kind of making sense? Is this good? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure, because sometimes I could go a little bit overboard. Sometimes I could get a little bit excited. But guys, I'm just excited because what God does in our lives is a direct correlation of what we invest. You are, I'm telling you guys, your input determines your output. You know? Every single day I'm listening to positive messages, listening to pastors, reading the Word, because your input determines your output, and you have to remember that. You might have friends that cuss all the time. Why is it? They listen to pretty gnarly music, right? I mean, you have to literally think what you put in your head, because that's going to be the output of it, guys. My other thing is goals. Literally, you guys can do and be anything you have if you have the right goals. People ask me all the time, how did I get on the USA surf team? Later won 2 Olympic medals. Seriously, I just had goals. I said, man, how do I accomplish these goals? I found somebody who had what I wanted, and I just did what they did. If you want to get good at basketball, you study Michael Jordan, you study, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. If you want to get good at your craft, find somebody who's better than you and study them. It's going to be, you guys will literally be blown away. So set some kind of goals that you want to do in your spiritual life. I mean, if you could think about financial life as well. You guys might be young, but be like, man, I want a part-time job so I can help my mom and dad. You know, I want to do something so I don't have to ask for sneaker money. Whatever you want to do, you know, think outside the box. Think about running your own business. You guys are so fortunate right now at your age to think like this, you know. But some of the youngest self-made millionaires are under 21. They start their business at 16, 17, 18. Pretty exciting, guys. Do you think they could retire their parents? Yeah, the answer is yes. And so the cool thing is, guys, think much bigger, much faster is what I want to end with. Seriously, if you think much bigger, much faster this year, you're going to be so stoked on where your life is going to be. It might be like, what do you mean, Jeremy? If you have a 2.0 GPA, think, how can I get a 4.0? If you have a 4.0, say, how can I get 6.0, break records? Is that even possible? You know, like, think much bigger, much faster. I tell people all the time my goals, and they think I'm crazy. I'm like, I want to own a freaking jet and go to the outer space, do whatever I want. Like, people think I'm crazy. But you have to think you're crazy if you want to really succeed in life or in anything. Because people put their goals too low and they hit them. So you need to put your goals so high that when you actually hit them, you keep going more and more, guys. So just surround yourself with good people, guys. That's what you guys are doing here tonight. But be excited, you know. This is a new year. This is a fresh opportunity. And if you're not right with God right now, you need to get right with God. Because seriously, guys, if I could just say anything, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what accolades you have. It doesn't even care about how much money you have, because you can't bring anything to heaven. You know? You're just bringing you. So serve more, help more. I mean, literally try to get out of your comfort zone. You know, feed the homeless. Go out there and feed the widows. I mean, you guys don't understand what people go through in life. And being 27 now, I'm just understanding that everything's not perfect. You know, people are hurting. People don't have opportunity. Even thinking about, you know, for me, I just was able to donate a large sum of money to the King's Ransom. These are kids that are homeless, that are, you know, orphans. You know what I mean? So we're really blessed. If you're here right now and you have a roof over your head, you're really blessed. And you have to count your blessings. And you're going to go so far in life when you count your blessings. Every single day, I'm like, wow, I live on the beach. This is epic. I count my blessings. Every single day, you count your blessings and you'll be so shocked at where you're going to be, guys. That's kind of just where my heart's at right now. It may or may not have resonated with somebody, but I know for a fact, one person in here, that's going to literally transform their life. It's going to transform their family's life, and it's going to dictate their future. So if you're that one person, man, I'm so excited that you heard this. And I'm going to end with this one verse that means so much to me. It's in Jeremiah 29, chapter 11, guys. This verse is going to blow you away. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future." Guys, God loves you so much. Doesn't matter if you blow it every single day. Doesn't matter if you do this stuff, guys. Just get your heart right. You know, God's grace is phenomenal. You know, just ask for forgiveness and then just get plugged into the pastors. Ask them, guys, I want to grow. I'm hungry. I'm starving. How can I do this? How do I live my life for Christ? And just make it happen this year. Don't have any regrets. Just go all out. Seriously, if you're an athlete, go all out. Be the best. Break records. Like, literally do that stuff. If you're a student, break records. Like, literally, this whole room should be the room that just breaks records in what they want to do, guys. And you could do it. So make it happen. Micah's going to kind of end off the night, guys. Just so you guys know, Micah is such a talented musician. I don't know if he's going to actually do a spoken word. If you maybe hype him up enough, he might. But it would be pretty cool, guys. So Micah, bring it home, baby.